One day, after a hard day's work, a peasant named Silas and his wife Martha sat resting in front of their humble cottage.
Suddenly, a magnificent carriage, drawn by 4 horses, pulled up right in front of their house.
A richly dressed gentleman stepped out. It was Count Victor. Silas stood up to greet him.
I need nothing, just a simple country meal. Cook me some potatoes.
Martha went into the kitchen to wash and mash potatoes, preparing a simple dish as usual.
While waiting, Silas invited the guest to the garden. He was busy planting trees.
The stranger asked, "Do you have any children? Why don't they help you?" I had a son, but he ran away. He was clever but mischievous, and now I have no news of him.
Silas planted a young sapling, tied it to a stake to make it grow straight.
The guest asked, "Why don't you tie that crooked, gnarled tree over there to make it straight?"
That tree is too old and knotted. To make a tree straight, you must train it while it is young. That is like your son. If you had trained him early, he wouldn't have run away. Now he is too old to change. But tell me, the stranger added, if he stood before you now, would you recognize him?
Hardly by his face, Silas replied, but he has a birthmark on his shoulder, the size of a bean.
The stranger bared his shoulder. There was the birthmark. My God, you are truly my son.
It was Jax, the master thief, who had returned. He was now rich and dressed like a noble.
I am a master thief, Jax admitted. But don't worry, father. I only take from the rich and give to the poor. A thief is still a thief, Silas warned. It ends with a beggar's bag or the gallows.
But when Martha saw her son, she wept with joy, not caring what he had become.
Later, Jax went to the castle to meet the real Count Victor. The Count was shocked to see his godson.
The Count said, "Since you claim to be a master thief, I will test you. Fail, and you will hang."
First, steal my horse from the stable. Second, steal the sheet and ring from my wife while we sleep. Third, kidnap the parson and the clerk.
For the first task, Jax disguised himself as an old woman with a barrel of drugged wine.
The guards at the stable saw the old woman and invited her to warm up by the fire. They drank the wine and soon fell into a deep sleep, snoring loudly like stones.
Jax tied the guard on the saddle to ropes and hoisted him up in the air, then took the horse.
The next morning, Jax rode the stolen horse past the Count's window, wishing him a good day.
The Count laughed but warned, "You succeeded once, but tonight I will be watching with a gun."
That night, Jax took a corpse from the gallows and carried it on his back to the Count's window. The Count saw a shadow and fired his gun. Jax dropped the corpse and hid.
Thinking he killed the thief, the Count went down to bury the body.
Wife, give me the sheet to wrap the body, and your ring, too.
The Countess gave him the sheet and the ring, thinking it was her husband.
The next morning, Jax presented the sheet and ring. The Count was amazed. "Are you a wizard?"
"One last task," said the Count. "Kidnap the Parson and Clerk." Jax smiled.
That night, Jax caught a sack full of crabs and stuck candles on their backs. He released the crabs in the Disguised as a priest, Jax climbed the pulpit and shouted, "Judgment Day is here! I am St. Peter! Get in the sack to go to heaven!"
Father Thomas and the clerk, seeing the lights, believed him and crawled into the sack.
Jax tied the sack and dragged them away, bumping them down the stairs. "We are passing over the mountains," he joked. He threw the sack into the pigeon coop. Can you hear the angels fluttering?
The next day, the Count found them in the coop. He admitted defeat.
You are truly the king of thieves.
"You may live," said the Count, "but leave my land forever." Jax said goodbye to his parents and rode away.